Someone much wiser than myself once said, "It is no indication of mental health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." And we can all agree, we definitely live in a sick society. How can you tell? Stand-up comedy is a thing.
White people who put Black Lives Matter signs in their yard can never take those signs down. They can try, but they can never take those signs down. They'd have to move. And if the next family is white, they can't take those signs down either. What would the neighbors think? Just moving day, they're moving in. Guy just walks out and just pulls it up. All the neighbors watering their yards looking at each other going like, okay. We see what the Millers are about. I could see a black dad going like, yeah, I know, Black Lives Matter. There's 5 of them underneath this roof that I'm paying the mortgage on, along with the taxes on this property. I didn't put this sign here. I'm taking it out. And he just eyeball all the neighbors. Those same neighbors watering their lawn are going to go, this family's going to fit right in. There's one thing white people love, it is private property. The guitar. I just want everyone to know right away up front that I took no joy in putting this thing in a case and carrying it from the apartment to the car and the car into here because I'm not that guy. I'm not that white guy. Like, I hate I hate seeing the white guy with any other race, gender, carrying an acoustic guitar, I'll listen. White guy with an electric guitar, okay. You got electricity where you're going. But a white guy with I didn't even, when I carried it in here, I didn't even carry it I carried it like a briefcase full of money. I didn't even want to carry it like I hate seeing that guy. It's like, dude, it's 1:30 on a Tuesday. Where are you going, you dick? You got a gig or something at 1:30? Or are you going down to the park to jot down some metaphors and write a song where like you whistle in it because you're not talented enough to learn the harmonica? I'm not even going to enjoy playing this guitar for you. I don't do that in front of people, but I made a promise to someone, and I'm keeping that promise tonight. And so when I pick up the guitar, please know that the comedy portion is over. I'm gonna be talking like real life, death, loss of friends, and singing songs about it. So laugh now. Get whatever gets you giggling going in your head. And just know that in 45 minutes when I pick this up, if you didn't laugh, you're going to sit there and go, oh, he wasn't fucking around. I thought that was he was just trying to take it sideways on me. No. It's going to get emotional. Someone's going to cry. It's probably going to be me. But it's going to be real. I turned 40 like a month ago. That's the perfect amount of no applause. You guys nailed it. No one cares. I've always felt physically old. did a lot of dumb shit in my 20s, but it's pop culture that's passing. Like I can feel it passing me by. Like I don't shorthand texting. That's ruined friendships for me. That's I can't. I'm not. I had somebody. He messaged me, lowercase LKR, and I was like, Laker, liquor. He needs a liquor, looker, locker. Like, what the hell is he? And then I looked it up. Turns out it wasn't lowercase LKR. It was capital IKR. Y'all know what that stands for? No, I didn't. I did not know that at all. I deleted his number. I was like, oh, I'm not friends with this ass. My friends don't make me do homework to communicate with them. Stay up. That's another one. Stay up. Y'all staying up? Like I went through the drive-thru and the guy hands me my food. I said, thank you. He goes, stay up. I said, word. And I pulled away. I was like, stay up for how long? What are we doing? What was that? Was that code for something? Did he put cocaine in my bag? Do I look like I do cocaine? He looked like he sold cocaine. Maybe I should get some cocaine and stay up. I hate doing cocaine. I like being high on cocaine, but I hate doing cocaine because I have a deviated septum. So I'll be partying out with people and they're like, Nick, you want to do some turbo blow, bro? You want to do some turbo? And I go, hell yeah, let's do it. And it just gets stuck right there. They're like, it's pretty good turbo, right? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good turbo. Your shit is bunk. And then the next morning I get in the shower and it's like, oh, there it goes. Woo! Woo! That's some time release cocaine right there. Yeah. Calling into work. I'm not wasting 8 hours of work on this 15-minute buzz. Do some cocaine. You know where they're not doing a lot of cocaine? Cheyenne, Wyoming. Anybody want to take a guess of why they're not doing a lot of cocaine in Cheyenne, Wyoming? I was going to say all the fresh, clean air, but meth, you might be onto something. If you've never been to Cheyenne, Wyoming, just imagine if Walmart was a city. Inside of a giant wind tunnel. And inside that Walmart city are 2 other Walmarts. And I'm telling you that one of those Walmarts has a parking lot that is fucking retarded. Like, Nick, you can't use that word. I'm describing a parking lot, not a human being. And I'm telling you that the Walmart on Della Vista Boulevard in Cheyenne, Wyoming has a parking lot that is fucking retarded. There's 3 bottlenecks in it for no reason. People from Cheyenne will see this and go, I know exactly what he's talking about. I'm a solid 9 in Cheyenne. I'm a strong 9 in Cheyenne. Cheyenne 9. Proud. If I had some cowboy boots and I knew how to field dress a mule deer, I'm mayor. Mayor of Cheyenne. But without that, as I stand before you, solid 9. I took a bus to Fly Frontier to get out of Cheyenne, if that's any indication of... Some of you have flown Frontier, the rest of you have just been crushing it your whole lives, huh? Every day, home runs. That's what you all are doing. Good for you. My plane ticket from Denver to Milwaukee was $24. My mom was like, that's a good deal. I said, calm down, Susie. We'll see. I I got to the gate, they're like, it's gonna be an hour delay. I said, that's more like it, Frontier. I went and got something to eat. I came back, they're like, it's gonna be another hour delay. I said, that's okay, because I won't lie, Frontier. It'd be a little suspect if you guys were running on time for $24 a ticket. Like, where y'all keeping that cocaine? Y'all are smuggling something. I'll tell you what I do respect about Cheyenne that they don't have there, that they have here in Madison. And that's grown men on unicycles. Have you seen them? Are you not disgusted? I didn't even know what I was looking at the first time I saw it. I was in the car, I was behind him, and it just looked like a guy trying to ride a wheelie with no hands. Like it was just this. Is that a grown man on a unicycle? Ooh. I pulled right up to it next to him and just shamed him. I was just sat there, just waiting for him to look over. I was like, look over here. Look over here. And he just looked over. And I just went. Down with the patriarchy? Really? Really? Down with that's what you get? That's what you get? Help! Help! I'll be there. All right. I don't have any kids, but if I had a kid, I'd rather catch my kid doing drugs than to catch them on a unicycle. In fact, if I caught them on a unicycle, they better be high on something. Legit. Like Schedule 1 drug. Just come home from some shit-ass job, see your kid on the corner sharing a unicycle with his friends. She's like, Shannon Travis, I cannot believe I let your mom name you that. Shannon Travis, get over here. I don't know, you leave that with them right there. Get over here, kid. What the hell is that? Are you high? Are you drunk? Neither? Get in the house, you're grounded. You were gonna write 5,000 times in cursive that unicycles are for losers. And every 1,000 times you're gonna take a hit from the blunt. Unicycles are a gateway to stilts and juggling. This is not 19th century Europe. I am not losing you to the circus. I will lose you to the streets like a goddamn American. Thank you. Y'all litter? Start doing it. Feels good. Like it touches, like it feel like it feels, be like recycling feels good. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I've recycled a lot more than I've littered. Just a little receipt, just feels good. Just thinking about it, feels good right there. Y'all do it on the way home. Y'all do it. You'll do it. We never littered as kids. Like I grew up in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and like in the 80s and 90s, people were littering down there like it was their job. Because all the state prisoners had to pick up all the trash along the interstate, so that was the running joke. It's like, oh, the prisoners need a job to do, and people were just littering. But my parents were progressive. Like they were just like, we don't do that. This family does not do that. We do not litter, and we do not say the N-word. And I've been doing it a lot lately. Littering, not saying the N-word. I've been saying the N-word. I don't know why. I was jumped into a gang at age 11. I grew up down south in the 90s. I knew how to use it properly. With love and affection. I can say it with just a face. Just, Nick, you going out tonight? You damn right. You gonna party tonight, Nick? Fucking A. But I've been littering. I got some rules. Like I only litter from the car. Because it's just that's the way it feels. It feels good. If I'm walking and I see trash, like I pick it up. Like I can't help it. Like I have to pick it up. And then when I get in the car, I throw that shit right back out the window. Because I'm a hardcore litterer. Hard R. I'm like 6 months away from kicking a grill out the back of a pickup on the interstate. Like that's where I'd see this going. Only litter in the winter. I'm a winter litterer. People are like, we gotta save the planet, save Earth, save Earth. Well, I live in Wisconsin, and 80 days out of the year, Earth tries to kill me, so fuck Earth. Have a Mexican Coke, Earth, just a glass. Oh, yeah, if you can break some glass while you do it. What threw me over the edge was my girlfriend and I were out for a late lunch. This restaurant we're at was 2 tables, our table in the section, then there was this family of 6. It was a family with a couple with 4 kids, and the dad was moving them all, like one by one, out to the car, and we hadn't gotten our food yet, so we're sitting there waiting for our food, and the mom, they had a little baby, the mom proceeds to change this baby's shitty diaper on the table. Not in the booth, at the table, on the table. And I know it was shitty because I saw it. And if I could have smelled it, this bit ends with me going to jail for disturbing the peace for tough talking a mother of 4. And like I'm just watching her do it. I'm like, you? Because in my mind, like I haven't seen their server, so our server is going to end up busting that table and then serving us our food with those baby shit particles all over. And I'm just like, fuck you, lady. And I know she already said, like, she had to go through, her thought process was like, look at this couple. Look at them. Young and beautiful. Here late, no kids. They probably got drunk last night and had a fight and then had some hot makeup sex. We had a fight. We didn't have any hot makeup sex, but we definitely fought. She doesn't know that. But she was like, fuck them. I'm changing this baby's diaper right here. So both of us, I'm just going like, fuck you, lady. And she's wiping ass, just fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I was like, oh my God. And then she puts the dirty diapers and all the dirty wipes into a clear plastic to-go container. The husband comes back. She hands the baby and the dirty diaper off. She goes, get rid of this. I assume she meant the diaper. And then he left, and she proceeded to just go back to eating for like another 5 minutes. And there was no Purelling of the hands. There was no indication of sanitization. Like there was just fuck you. Fuck you, lady. And she's like, she's touching everything. And I'm just losing my shit because where's their server? And then she gets up and walks out. And she walked past, and I was just like, fuck you. And then their server came out of nowhere and bust their table. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I relaxed for a second. But then our server disappeared, and their server ended up bringing us our food. I was like, just wrap this up and throw it away because I'm not eating it. Fuck her. Fuck her kids. Fuck those dirty diapers. Fuck the Lorax. Fuck Earth. I'm littering. That's her 4th kid. The dirty diaper into the to-go box, that's an old trick. That second pregnancy still got the one, that's probably been handed down. You know how many diapers I've put in landfills in the last 38 years? 1. Because my sister sent me some diapers for my 40th birthday, and I was like, as a joke, and I was like, I'm putting one on. And I put one on, and then I sat there and got shit-faced, and then I went outside and smoked a bowl and pissed myself underneath the moon, and it was beautiful. I don't know why we're all not wearing diapers now. We should all be wearing. I don't know why we don't. Why do we? Because we're adults. No, we're not. The only reason there's an illusion that there are adults is because there are children. Like, I thought about wearing one tonight, just in case this didn't go well. I'll just stand here and piss myself in front of you. Take that. You fellas objectifying your ladies? I'll rephrase that. Are those of you who identify as fellas, are you objectifying those that identify as ladies? You got to do it, guys. I know it's not a popular sentiment, but you have to do it. It's for their own good. I objectify my girlfriend when we just sit at home. I'll be sitting on the couch. She'll be upstairs. It'll get a little too quiet for a little too long. Hey, you wonderful, beautiful bitch! And then I just hear, what? What the hell are you doing up there? Pooping. Good answer. Good answer. I no longer care what is going on upstairs. A couple weeks later, she comes back from the corner store, just a couple blocks. She walks in, she goes, I just got hit on. I was like, what happened? She goes, well, he pulled over. I was like, oh, my girl's stopping traffic? You damn right. I said, then what happened? He said, hey, come here and let me holler at you, you sexy bitch. And then she said, I gotta go poop. And then he said, fucking nothing. Got in his car and fucked off. Because I love her. Because I love her. Ladies, if your man's not objectifying, if you ain't grabbing your ass while you're brushing your teeth, he don't love you. He may say he does, but he don't. And fellas, your lady's objectifying you. She just doesn't do it sexually. Every woman in here objectifies men. Any guy in here ever been asked to hold a purse? Objectified. Turned you into a walking, talking coat rack. Will you hold my purse? And you just went, yep. And she hung her purse on your arm, and then you were like, how many purses do you have, lady? Like, you can hold them all. And she got 10 steps away and looked back at you and started laughing like, she's falling in love with me. No, she's not. You know what she's saying? Look at this dumbass man holding my purse. What kind of dance is that? I was like, I don't dance. I don't sleep with losers that dance like that and hold purses. So I was talking about this bit to my girlfriend. She goes, I don't care if you hold it another woman's purse. I was like, bullshit. Nice try. I'm not falling for that one. No way. She was out of town for like a week. And on the last night she was out of town, like, man, I'm going down to this bar where I've been getting shit-faced for the last 15 years. I'm going to get drunk and wake up on the kitchen floor like the good old days. And I got down there, and I bumped into a female friend of mine, and it's busy, and we're all talking. I'm in mid-conversation with someone when my female friend goes, can you hold my bag? And I stuck my arm out because she disguised it with bag, like I didn't hear purse. And I'm just sitting there. And then, like, she went to go. I felt this very uncomfortable groping sensation along my arm, and I was just like, oh, I'm not this kind of girl. Like, I don't... And there was barely resistance on the arm. Like, she let it go, and I just let my arm go limp, and it just fell on the ground. And she goes, what the hell? And I go, you're damn right. I go, are you having sex with me later tonight? And she goes, what? I go, do you plan on having sex with me later? And she goes, no. I go, well, my girlfriend has sex with me sometimes. And I don't ever hold her purse. So you're out of your damn mind if you think I'm holding yours. Like, I knew my girlfriend was 1,000 miles away. But on the off chance that she got an early flight home and she showed up at the house, sees I'm not there, she knows where I'm at. I'm a simple creature of habit. And then she walked in and saw me having a good time without her, holding another woman's purse. Holy shit. I can't even imagine, just be sitting there mid-conversation like, yeah, man, well, here's the thing. Oh, hey, babe. And then just see her face going like, why is she looking at me like that? Oh, shit. She said it was a bag. She said it was a bag. Babe. And then it's over for me. It's over for me. She's not going to have sex with me because she caught me holding another woman's purse. This one's not having sex with me because I held her purse. And now I got to move to Cheyenne where I'm still a strong 9. And word on the street isn't that I'll hold purses. Maybe it's a good move for me. I don't know. It's windy there, and if you litter in Cheyenne in like 4 hours, it's Nebraska's problem, so. I will say this about Cheyenne. That is cool. Cheyenne Frontier Days is the shit. None of you know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, it's like you get you a little slice of Americana. There's a stadium outside of Cheyenne that holds about 15,000 people, and its only purpose is Cheyenne Frontier Days, where for 10 days straight, they just have a rodeo, like a legit bull riding, huge rodeo every day. They have skydivers, they've got air shows, and then at night they fly in some huge band, and the whole city just parties for 10 days straight. You could steal Cheyenne during Cheyenne Frontier Days. Like, no one's at their house. I don't mean you could break in and steal shit. I mean you could move the entire city, and they would never notice. I like y'all's energy. Just like, next. Before DNA testing, how could black guys tell when the baby wasn't theirs? That's what I thought. That's exactly the reaction I got from it. Because I'd love to have a black baby boy, but how do I know that's my kid? You know what I mean? Like, it's... Because, like, I date a white woman, and if a white woman is mad at her white boyfriend, like, she's not going to go have sex with Chase or Todd. She's going to go fuck Dion. You know what I mean? She's going to... And then she comes back and she's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, man, I wasn't ready for this. And then we're in the delivery room, and that baby comes out, like, oh, man, that ain't my kid. Who's that? Whose kid is that? Dion's kid? Is that Dion's? Is that Antoine's? You know Antoine was a grandpa at 37, right? Like I'd really like to have a black baby boy with a white woman. But how would I know? I just gotta believe her. Like, Nick, you could have a black baby boy with a black woman. Yeah, I could, but I respect black women way too much to do. To try to dazzle my way into their life. But I do. I want a black baby boy. I'd name him Daniel, after Daniel Shabangu. Y'all know who Daniel Shabangu is? No one knows. You know who Royal Baby George is? Baby George, the first little next generation of those old royal shitbirds. You guys know what I'm talking about? Baby George. Oh, fuck. There's women in here who sat there and watched that goddamn wedding. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Baby George. The first little... Daniel Shabangu. Just when you thought the last thing the world needed was another white male, Daniel Shabangu was born to two African-American, British... Actually, they're not African-American at all. They're Nigerian immigrants who then moved to Great Britain and became citizens. And they had little baby Daniel, just a little white. And he's not albino, whatever the definition of that. Like, he's not. He doesn't have those feelings. Like, he looks like his family, but he's just white. Even his dad's, like, in the picture, like, what the fuck? But he looks just like them. And he was born like several weeks before Baby George. And I didn't hear anything about it. Like, I heard about him like several weeks after Baby George was born, because the royal family is like, no. Only baby news coming off this island this summer is the royal baby. But like, Daniel Shabangu, he should have been huge news. It's like freaking white people. Like, we're a recessive gene of black people. So black people, you kind of did it to yourselves. I hope he grows up upstaging Baby George their entire lives. Like, I hope he's like a star soccer player and he like takes Aston Villa to the UEFA Champions League. He wins the World Cup for England. And then like when they're 20, he wins the Olympics and he sets a world record in the 100-meter dash and it blows people's minds because he's white, but he's black, but he's white, but he's black. And it's just like, fucking what? Daniel Shabangu. And Royal Baby George is just, no, yeah. And then at the end, like when he's 23, like he like becomes the youngest prime minister ever elected to parliament or whatever the hell they have over there. And people are just like, Daniel Shabangu. And Baby George is just this 23-year-old spoiled brat, just like, yeah. Daniel Shabangu, he is magnificent. He's great at everything he does. But let's be honest. He has 2 black parents. I mean, how many advantages could one boy have? I just come from a long line of inbred lizard people. Like, just... He's got an older black brother named Seth. Poor guy. I feel for him. They're like, Seth, you're going to have a baby brother. He was like, yeah. Like, you got a white baby brother. He was like, fucking hell, Mom. Dad, talk to your wife, mate. Who's she been shagging? She's shagging crackers. I knew it. I wish I had an older black brother. That'd be awesome. So my dad comes to the door. The black guy. He's like 6, 7 years older than me. He's like, Jimmy, what's going on, bud? Who's this? He's like, this is James Jr. I was like, actually, you're a James Jr. there, Dad. And he's like, yeah, I know. So what's going on? Well, it turns out I dated James Jr.'s mom here about a year before I met your mom, and 23 and fuck me. I'd like to introduce you to your older brother, James. I'm like, I got an older brother named James. And he's like, that's correct. And he's black. I'm like, that is correct. Like, I got an older black brother named James. He was like, yeah. I was like, I'm calling up my little brother. I called my little brother. He's like, dude, did you hear the news? Dude, we're both little brothers now. We're both little brothers. We got an older black brother. His name's James Jr. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. Hell yeah, we're family now, dude. Hell yeah. I'm doing. Listen, I'll call you back, man. I gotta go. I'm gonna get. Hey, James Jr., come on in, man. I want to hear all about your life. Could you grab that Black Lives Matter sign before you come into the house, though? I got little Nazi kids are running around fucking that shit up. Yeah. I got accused of flopping. Any floppers in here? You guys? I might be making something up that's new. Y'all flopping? Fucking up on purpose? You guys, anyone? She asked me to come in and help her dice up some tomatoes, and for whatever reason, I can't do it. I can't dice tomato. Like, I just sit there and I try, and it's just, like, I don't know my own strength, and I just start pressing too hard, and it just turns into this little puddle of tomato flesh and seeds. And she's like, you're fucking up on purpose. And I was like, what? She goes, you're fucking up on purpose so that I don't ask you to help me. And I was like, mind blown. I was like, what? That is genius. Fucking up on flopping. And then I started thinking about her. I was like, wait a minute. Because I was a paratransit driver for a year. And that was, if you don't know what that is, it's when someone drives the mentally and physically disabled around town, helping them lead normal lives, which makes me a better human being than about 98% of you. Any doctors, EMTs, firefighters, teachers, strippers? No, just pieces of shit. Just like I thought. Yeah, y'all been judging me this whole time, but you guys are pieces of shit. Like, I drove 25,000 miles through this city in 1 year. That is, like, I don't even know math, 8 times across the country through this city. I want to be driven every now and again. But she hates driving. So she'll flop it. And I was like, it's a fucking interstate. It's an on-ramp. You have to accelerate. All right, I'll drive. I'll drive. I'll drive. BJ's. Her head game was top-notch before we got together, before we were exclusive. And now she's flopping. It's just... How about that? You like that, right? Hello, is this thing on? Trying to be funny while you suck my girlfriend found out during some sexy shower time. That's when I used to get a BJ in the shower. Doesn't happen often. If you guys could be happy for me, I'd appreciate it. 3, 4, the rest of you. I'm not expecting much from you pieces of shit anymore. But she found out that during some sexy shower time that your old buddy Nick Hart doesn't mind a little butt tickle. Little tickle on the butt, only in the shower. Everything's lathered up and clean and rinsed away. Like, if we're not in the shower and you're trying to get back there, get out of there, you psycho. But if we're in the shower, yeah, come on. We got out of the shower and she goes, so, am I the first girl to ever do that? And I go, yep. She's like, really? I was like, no, I'm 40 years old. I was having sex in high school. I lived most of my life before I met you. How special do I have to pretend she is? So not to be outdone, a few weeks later, I'm at home doing my chores, and she gets home. There was a package addressed to her in the mail. She gets home, she opens it. It was, I'll describe it. It's about yay long. Man, the cameras. Yay long, ribbed. Had a cute little handle at the end. And it looked like a unicorn horn from a My Little Pony. For all you bronies out there. And she just goes, huh? And I was like, I didn't know what it was. I go, is that to wash shot glasses? She was like, no. I'm like, I see it. What is it? She's like, look. I see it. What is it? She goes, it's a butt plug. I said, oh, I get to use that on you? She goes, no. And I just stood there like, who's coming over then? She goes, nobody. It's for sexy shower time. I said, oh, you want to use that on me? And she goes, yeah, sexy shower time. I was like, all right, bring it on. You're not going to scare me with that thing. It's pink, for God's sakes. So we get in the shower for sexy shower time, right? This is the position, in case you guys want to try it later tonight. And she's got the little thing. It's all lubed up, you know? And she's doing me the favor because she loves me, or says she does. And she's just kind of doing, she's like doing this. It's just, yeah. I was like, oh, she just wanted a tool, like a back scratcher. Just. And then without warning, just that first knuckle, like when I was like, whoa, 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 whoa! Hold up! I don't hate that. I can't stop this. And just a few moments go by, that second knuckle goes in, I go, all right. This is about communication. But I'm not stopping this. A few more moments go by, that last knuckle goes in, I go, all right, that's it, show's over, pump the brakes, we're not doing this anymore. And then she said, shut up, and she hit the vibrate button on it, and I just went, oh, you did this to me. Oh, don't touch me, don't touch me. Woo! What the hell was that? And I threw that thing out immediately. About 4 months later. Because she was not going to have that kind of power over me. But fellas, I will tell you this. I'll look every single one of you man to man, eye to eye. See you. I see you. See you. You were laughing pretty good. You might have already know. You. Fellas, don't be a bunch of little fags. You Explore your man-cooters with your lady friends. You're going to learn something about yourself. You might not like it. But I promise you this, you're going to fucking love it. Thank you guys very much. So, like I said, if you didn't laugh, you're not gonna. One man portion. I'm sure all of us, statistically speaking, all of us have to have had someone in our life that was affected by cancer. So these are the stories about two friends of mine who tied their battle with cancer. I like to say tied. Right? I hear when they lost their battle, and they're tied. That's the paradox of cancer. Like the thing that keeps it alive, it kills. Like if someone pushes you into a pool and you pull that person in, you're both wet, both a little bit of luck, their phone is fucked. But I had a friend named Dana here in town, and she tied her battle back in mid-November of 2017. She was 28, and she had battled cancer in her late teens and early 20s, and it had gone in remission, and that's when I had met her. And then it came back in the summer of 2016 in her jaw. So they ended up removing her whole jaw, and then in the summer of 2017, a year later, it came back on this side, so they ended up removing that part of her jaw. And it was early September of that summer, or 2017, I woke up to a text message from her. I said, it was classic Dana. She just goes, "At the doctor's office, can't talk, cancer spread to my brain, give me 8 to 10 weeks. And it was, like I could hear her say that, but it made me laugh, but it was also just like, 8, Halloween? And I just remember, I was like, how do you respond to that text message? So I had written this song. I had just written it and just had it recorded on my phone. And I was like, this is as good a spot as any. Just send this. And I sent it to her, and I was like, I love you, girl. I was like, call me when you can. And she ended up texting me back later that day, and she goes, my mom and I have been crying for the last 45 minutes listening to your song. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, I didn't know how to respond. I didn't want to be like, thumbs down emoji, cancer sucks, IKR. And she goes, no. She goes, like, it was a good cathartic cry, like we needed it. She goes, thank you. She goes, you've always been a really good friend. And we were a good friend. We were buds. We were never romantically involved. We were never physical. We were just buds. It was just like that. You ever have that friend that you don't need to hang out all the time, but when you see him, you're like, hell yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Fucking Dana's here. Like, that's what she was. So, this is that song. So many times it takes me to play it. This is called Little Old Me. Leaders, they claim to know what is right. But who do they mean when they use the pronoun we? And deep down you feel something just ain't right. But I don't give a damn, 'cause I got someone who loves me. As long as someone's there to love little old me. Hey girl, I know it's been a struggle. It can't be easy loving a man like me. But please know I'm always grateful that I've got you, and baby, you know you've got me. I know I'll be just fine as long as you're there to love little old me. And I know I may not belong for this world. On that me and all the gods agree. Racing across this universe, chasing a girl who's always one world ahead of me. And I know I'll be just fine if I could catch up once so she could love little old me. Little old me. So now, in early 2013, I was living in Seattle and loving every minute of it. I hate that town. And I was coming back here to visit, and I had a comedy buddy, Barry, who was about to tie his battle with colon cancer. He was 41. And he was a funny dude. He had this bit where he'd be like, after the show, I'll be selling my CDs, which is like implying that they're comedy albums. But then he'd go, I got Master of Puppets by Metallica, Enya. And he ended up putting that in his obituary. He's like, after the show, after the funeral, Barry will be out back selling CDs. And very talented musician in his own right, better than this. And but it was his second time battling it. And before I moved, he was going through treatment, and just to take his mind off of things, I'd go over there and we'd talk comedy, we'd talk life. And he had an electric drums kit down in the basement, so we just go down there, and he could only really play for like 10 or 15 minutes before he got too tired. And he's like, what are we playing? I was like, dude, I'm gonna make a bunch of noise and we just meet in the middle. Like, let's just rock out. So he came back here to visit, and he was in and out of hospice, and it was imminent. And I just really wanted to see him one last time. I pay my respects. And called his wife, and she's like, we're at the house, like we're in and out of hospice, but like he doesn't really talk much. He's pretty much just sleeping. And I was like, well, I'll come over and just say hey to you. So we go over there and we're hanging out, and his best friend's there, and he's telling stories about Barry. And Barry just ends up opening his eyes and just goes, what are you doing here? And I was like, I just came to say hey, man. And he was like, all right, beat it. Like, I understood what he meant. He's like, I don't want you seeing me like this. Like, remember me as the dude on stage. Like, I said, I'll meet you in the middle. And I was back on a flight to Seattle, hating Seattle. And it was just like that reality, like, I'm not gonna see this dude again.
But I was trying to stay positive. I was like, I'm end up featuring at this club, and it was the first time featuring, and I was just like, that's the positive. That's what I'll do that. I'll think about that. And like, you feature, like, how it used to work in comedy was you went to a club and you started emceeing, and then you worked your way up as a feature, and then you headlined. But now you can just lose your shit in a bagel shop, and you got an instant fucking following. But I was like excited about that because it was like, all right, like Barry didn't get to experience this. Like, so the Thursday, Friday shows, typical, like nothing special. There's fucking comedy club shows. But the Saturday early show was sold out, which was cool, but it was still a Seattle crowd, and they're just like, can I laugh at that? Can I laugh at that? Can I laugh at that? And I was like, it's just and like right before I hit the stage, like this electricity just hits the room. Like it was nuts. Like any performer will tell you, like sometimes there's just a vibe. Y'all had a pretty good vibe about you when I came out here. It was all right. It was okay. But like this vibe hit, and it's just like it was nuts. Like at the set of my life. Like the laughter was so good, it was patronizing. Like, that's how good the show is going. To where I'm like, I'm hating these people. Because I'm like, these jokes are good, but they're not this good. And there was just something, and I just, like, it's only a brick wall behind me, but I was like, what is it like? And at one point, it just became, I can only describe it as out of body if that's what it is, but it was just like, I just stepped aside for 5 seconds, and there was just this whom, whum, 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 and everything slowed down. Like there was a woman sitting right there, and you could see spittle on her lip as she like cocked her head back. Like everything was just slow, and it just boom, 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 and it just bounced back. And I got off stage, and I was at the bar having a drink. Like, how do I recreate that? Like, I'll be huge if I can recreate that. Like, what did I do different? And then I got a text message that said Barry passed away 30 minutes ago, and I just went, oh fuck, it was Barry. I had nothing to do with that. That wasn't me at all. Like it was just that, it was just that energy. He was like just checking in on the part of the dream that he didn't get to live. So, back to 2017, it's mid-October, and they're throwing a benefit at the comedy club for Dana, and I was asked to close the show. Dream gig. Doing a show for your dying friend and all of her hammered, because she worked in service industry. She worked at the hospital, and she was a bartender, so it's just bartenders, bouncers, bar backs, drunks, cab drivers, delivery drivers, chefs, cooks. Everyone's trashed. And I'm up on stage, and the show's, starting to deteriorate because it's just, everyone's just so emotional. And her brother and her sister come up, and they say some words. And then we bring Dana up, and by this time, the cancer's moved behind us, cut the nerve off to her left eye. So it was just drooping, and she had like a black eye. And she comes up, and she just said, I had a good life. And people are like, you're gonna beat it. And they're being optimistic, but like you could see her, she was so tired. She was like, and she was like, I had a good life. She goes, I had a good time. And then we got the crowd to sing Time of Our Life to her. Because every girl loves Dirty Dancing. And so I throw it to the crowd, because, and they take off, and this kick-ass bitch just stands there. Like that. And I remember I was standing behind her, I was like, I hope I'm half that cool when my day comes. Like, I won't be, but I hope I'm half that cool. And I gave her a hug, and I whispered in her ear, I said, I promise you, I'll love you for the rest of my life. I'll think about you. I'll write songs about you. I was like, just know you'll be remembered. And that was it. That was the last time I saw her. It was that night. 2 weeks later, as coincidence has it, I'm on another fucking flight to Seattle. And it's the same thing. It's just that, and I'm out there for like a month, so I'm not gonna be back here. And it was just that, I like that I'm not gonna see that friend again. And it's a month-long competition out there. You're doing shows every night, and first week goes by, we have a night off, and I'm out with this other comedian from LA, and we got in a fight. We didn't get in a fight. He tried to pick a fight, and I just said no. It's like, you want to go? And I was like, no, I don't. And he was like, well, you can find your own way home. And I was like, will do. And I got on this bus. It's like 1 a.m, and I'm kind of like just like sour about that dude. I was like, fuck you, dude. And then it wasn't even like I thought of Dana. It wasn't like she crossed my mind or anything like that as much. It was, psst, hey, like it was like she was there. And I like looked over at the window, and like for a split second I thought I saw her, and I start weeping, not sobbing, not tearing up, just effortless weeping, and I'm just looking straight ahead, and there's 3 Asian dudes sitting here, and they're freaking the fuck out. Like they're just sitting there, and just like I couldn't understand what they're saying, but it was like, why is the big burly freaking white guy weeping all of a sudden at 1 a.m. on the bus? And I get off the bus, and it's like 5 or 6 blocks that I gotta walk, and it's in the rain, and I can hear her, I'm hearing her talk. And I go, it's okay. I was like, you tried? Like she just kept saying, I tried. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's like, you fought hard. She fought harder than I'll ever fight. I promise everyone in here right there on film, I ain't fighting like that. Nick, you got 8 weeks to live. Yeah, we're gonna cut that down to 2, and I'm gonna show you guys a bender that ends with me jumping out of an airplane, shrooming on mushrooms with no parachute. And, but I was like, you tried, girl. I was like, you don't owe anyone anything. And then my knees buckled, and I just went down. It was that same thing with Barry. It was just, everything just felt like he just moved aside, and it was just this whum, 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 whum. It was like this vibration. And everything slowed down again. Like it was just like I watched rain drop off leaves. I just did that. And then just, it was gone. It was just like, oh, that was Dana moving at the speed of soul, checking in. And I knew it. I was like, oh, I'm going to get news tomorrow. And I woke up the next morning, and there's a text message that said Dana passed away at 3 a.m. Central Time. And I was like, well, that was 1 a.m. where I was, so that makes sense. And I just curled up in bed and cried for like an hour, and then just had to go back to being a psycho. Because I was like, I can't deal with this. I was like, these are like, there's 15 more shows, and these are like 1,000-seat theaters. And I was like, I'll deal with this when I get home. And I just compartmentalized it like a psycho. And I was just like, I'll stay stoned and drunk. It's not real yet. It won't be real until I get home. And I got home, and everyone had kind of grieved already. It's 3 weeks later, and I just hadn't dealt with it. So I ended up writing this song to deal with it. And then I bumped into her sister on New Year's Eve. And I told her what I just told you guys about the bus. And she just goes, she was talking to you. And I go, yeah, maybe. I don't know. We both did a lot of mushrooms. It's possible. And she goes, no. She goes, when she passed, she was talking in her sleep. And we couldn't understand what she was saying. And her last words were, I tried. We're all connected up here. This is the illusion. Where there's no, I don't know if there's death, but it seems like the thing after this is way cooler than this. All right. So this is called I Tried. Somehow you made it look fun. You winked at that abyss and you teased it. Sent on your way by all those you love, and on the night you passed through my mind, it brought me tears. Walked in the rain, you whispered in my ear, take care. And my knees buckled twice, and the rain had stopped, and I swear I stood there in silence. I couldn't breathe, but I knew you were there. And somehow you made it look easy. And somehow you made it look fun. You winked at that abyss and you teased it. Sent on your way by all those you love. And somehow she made it look easy. And somehow she loved everyone. She laid there talking in her sleep then. Said, tell everyone. Dana said, I tried. All right, so some fun stories, because Dana was a hoot. The first night I met her, I was bouncing at this bar, and we were kicking everybody out. It was like Saturday, late, and they're like, no, one of the bartenders like, no, Dana can stay. Dana's cool. I was like, all right, Dana, you can stay. You're cool. And we're cleaning up, and I'm being filled in on this young woman's life up to that point. She was just in remission, and just already talking to her like this, she has such a bigger, like, broader perspective on life. She was wise beyond her years at age 20. I'm pretty sure she was underage and they're drinking, but we got done. It's like 4:30 in the morning, and she lived like 5 blocks away, and she wanted one last A bar. She was getting ready to move. She wanted to have one last A bar at her house. And I had a bike, and she goes, give me a ride on the handlebars. And I go, absolutely not. And she goes, why not? I was like, because Dana, you seem cool, but I just met you. But I've had best friends and family members on handlebars, and no one trusts anyone. Everyone thinks they should be steering, so you're just sitting there. So I go, sorry, it's not happening. And she goes, trust me, it'll be okay. And I'm like, all right. I'm gonna test you though. She goes, bring it on. And she hops on, and like I take off. Like we're slaloming oncoming traffic. Like I'm dodging parked cars, and I'm jumping curbs. She didn't flinch once. The only thing that came out of her mouth was, woohoo! Like it was just, and we got back to her place, and hit the brakes, and she jumps off. And she goes, you're gonna really like my apartment. Like this is gonna be the coolest A bar you've ever been to, Nick. And I was like, all right. She goes, I got a spiral staircase in my place. It's the shit. And I was like, all right. So we wait for everyone to show back up, and we go up there, and everyone gets drunk. We get stoned. We listen to music. We have some laughs. Sun comes up. Disperse. Successful AVAR. And then about a year or so later, I was hosting at the club, and the headliner and the feature were from out of town. And I was like, you guys want to go out and get a drink or anything? And they're like, what would you say the odds are of us just walking down State Street and seeing drunk college girls show their boobs? And I said, I don't know, 50-50. It's like, I don't really hang out at those places. I was like, but I mean, we can just walk down State Street and see what happens. And we walk out and we turn the corner, and none other than Dana comes walking around the corner with a crew. She always had a crew. And she's like, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey, we just got done with the show. She goes, hey, we just got out of a show too. She goes, what are you guys doing? I was like, yeah, these two bozos want to see if there's any drunk college girls showing their boobs. And she goes, oh. She goes, do y'all want to see how I'm double jointed? And then without even waiting for an answer, she just peels off her tank top and just nothing but her bra and her boobs. And she had nice boobs. They were good. Like, I went to visit her in hospice, and I was sitting there with two friends of hers that I hadn't met. She goes, of course I showed my boobs. I got great boobs. What's the point of having great boobs if you're not going to show them? I find no flaw in your logic, Dana, at all. So she does this thing with the grand gesture bra where she puts her hands behind her back and starts bringing them up over, like shoulders dislocating and popping back in. And I've dislocated this shoulder several times. It's disgusting. It slides out and just like, oh, like, and she's just doing this, and it's like bringing it up overhead. I'm just going, oh, Dana, oh, God, just, ah. And the other two comics are just like, and she brings them over her head, and she puts her tank top back on, and then there's like this weird moment of silence where we're all just kind of standing around like, and she goes, well, good luck seeing drunk college girl boobs then. And she just walks off. And I was like, sorry about that, guys. It's my friend Dana. So you guys ready? And they're like, you know what? I got an early flight tomorrow. I think I'm good. Like, I'm just going to go back to the hotel. And I was like, I ended up bumping into Dana later that night. And she's like, where are your comedy buddies? I was like, well, I'm pretty sure they went back to the hotel to jerk off to your boobs. And she just goes, gross. And then she goes, that is pretty funny though, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty good. So this is the last one. This one's called Where It's Safe. I want to ask for y'all's help towards the end. Don't be nervous. You're just going to have to put in a performance of a lifetime as an audience. So this is called Where It's Safe. I remember the lyrics. She wanted to show me a spiral staircase. Would I mind giving her a lift? She hopped on the handlebars. I'd never felt so safe. We all agree she's way too young. She makes the world a better place. She never quit, she kept keeping on, all the way back to where it's safe. She sits there in the hospice room, wondering to herself, the world will be without her soon. We all go back to where it's safe. We all go back to where it's safe. Everybody whisper it. We all go back to where it's safe. 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 One, two. My friend was here today. She'd have a smile on her face. She'd have her drink in her hand. She'd be dancing all over the place. Yeah, we all go back to where it's safe. Yeah, we all go back to where it's safe. Yeah, we all go back to where it's safe. We all go back to where it's safe. We all go back to where it's safe. Thank you guys for coming out, man. You guys are awesome.
Here's a story about my friend named Luke. Didn't care much for the law, said he didn't give a good goddamn. He was his own kind of man, out of money late one night. Says he needs another cold one to kill the heat that walks tonight. He collects his change, yeah, and Johnny Law found him just before dawn. Says he needs another cold one